Hey guys, Zach here. Let's talk top 10 Freddy Krueger one-liners. So, we've talked about Michael Myers and we've talked about Jason Voorhees, and today we're completing the trilogy and we're talking about Freddy Krueger. Freddy is probably the most unique of the three slasher icons, as he's the only one that actually talks, and it helps him stand out from Jason and Michael, and it makes him more of a character and more of a personality within the Nightmare on Elm Street films. A big part of the success of Freddy Krueger is the actor Robert Englund, who portrayed him in the original series. And we're not going to talk about Jackie Earle Haley or the remake because it's terrible. So with that, let's look at the top 10 Freddy Krueger one-liners.
The souls of the children. Give me strength.
So this clip is great because not only is it from Part 3 Dream Warriors, which is to me the second best film in the franchise, but also it comes with him ripping the sweater open and you can see the faces of the souls on his chest. It's a really great Freddy Krueger moment and a great line as well.
You've got the body. I've got the brain.
So Part 2 gets a bad rep from a lot of people, but I honestly think it's one of the better movies in the franchise, especially when looking at some of the later entries. And also Part 2 has a lot of great one-liners. We'll see a couple more later on in the list. But this one is when he confronts Jesse and he rips his head open. You can see his brain. Just a really great, scary Freddy moment. Another great line from Part 3 when he's killing Taryn, which honestly is a very emotional scene considering Taryn's history with drug problems and ultimately leading to her death at the hands of Freddy. But really great delivered line by Robert Englund, and just shows why Freddy Krueger is a great character.
Want to suck the face?
No.
This one's more on the comedic side of things, with Freddy taunting a girl with asthma and then being his usual creepy Freddy self, and the way her face blows up and the way she dies is pretty humorous actually, and it's a great line to accompany the death. Part 4 isn't really one of my favorites in the franchise, but this moment has always stuck out with me.
I'm here to help you.
Help yourself, fucker!
To me, this is Freddy's funniest line, and it's just hilarious how after he says it, he throws the guy when the guy's just trying to be nice to him at the pool scene. Which, by the way, that pool scene is just a great scene overall. Another reason why Part 2 is very underrated in my opinion.
How's this for a wet dream?
Another great line from Part 4 when Freddy kills Joey in the waterbed. A really great scene and a great kill, and it is accompanied, of course, by a great Freddy line.
You are all my children now.
This line is just classic, and again, another from Part 2 and another from that pool scene in Part 2. This is just a classic Freddy line showing that he has control over the children of Elm Street and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Great line by Freddy.
Please, God.
This is God.
Now, I believe this line is the first time you see Freddy Krueger fully in the first film, and what a great introduction to the character, with his arms all stretched out, looking terrifying down that alleyway. Tina knowing she's done for, and he just taunts her with "This is God." Beautiful moment in horror history and a great Freddy line.
What?
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
So this line from Part 1 is also accompanied by the tongue coming through the phone. Really just shows how creepy Freddy Krueger is and how unsettling he's going to be throughout the whole franchise, and a great line by Freddy overall.
The prime time, bitch!
And of course, you knew this was going to be number 1, the most iconic Freddy Krueger line in history, and it's part of a great scene in a great film. I think this scene shows who Freddy Krueger is perfectly. You got the combination of horror and comedy, and he's tying the kill directly to the character in which he's killing. It just makes for a classic Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street moment. That's why it's number 1. It's always fun listening to Freddy Krueger, isn't it? Well, that was my list. Now, tell me if you agree with my list, if you disagree with my list, if you would put my list in a different order, or what I forgot to include that are personal favorite one-liners from yours. And with that, Zach has spoken.